Up to Seabound, Nia was not really much of an interesting character, and the way she basically pretty much put it is she was either Kai's sister, Jay's boyfriend, etc., etc. She didn't want to be related to these terms, so she made an identity for herself, being, first of all, the Samurai X, and being the Master of Water. She didn't like being identified as an object or a certain part of someone's character, and Ninjago has so far since basically since Sense of Gammon upwards, they've identified herself, especially as a ninja, to be her own character. Seabound made her character a lot better, and Ninjago Dragons Rising, in my opinion, is doing the exact same thing. Now, it's been a while since I've spoken about a ninja in this concept, as I want to talk about Nia as a character in Dragons Rising, and where she'll be going in Part 2 of Dragons Rising Season 2, because a lot of people say that Zane and Nia and Cole, some other characters there, don't get a lot of potential in the spotlight, and there's no story for them. I discussed why Zane, and it's not really much for Cole, but Zane and Nia were two notable characters that they didn't get spotlights in episodes. You'd have to really dig. So let's start talking about Nia, how she started off in Dragons Rising. Now, first of all, I want to say this. The way she is found in the realm of madness is pretty kind of ironic in a sense, as this is sort of the episodes where in Season 1, when Master Wu was there trying to find Ganon, she was identifying herself as the Samurai X to the truest potential. This would be sort of her true potential into being the Samurai X module than her water form later on in Seabound. Now, this was honestly an epic thing to see her here, and then her basically reuniting with her brother Smash Bang, because like in the pilots, Kai wanted to go find his sister, and that's the first thing he pretty much does, and I'm pretty sure it's by accident. It's not on purpose or anything, or it's not intentional. The writers sort of made it intentional, because what perfect brand new story would it be to have your energy, fire, and water characters, and then finding your ice character at the end of that chapter? I think that's a pretty epic way to find three of the original characters again. Honestly, pretty amazing. Now, what does Nia do in Part 1 of Dragons Rising Season 1? Well, let's get this straight out the bag. She just really is sided off, sort of journaling, dotting notes in the Cloud Kingdom, finding information here and there about the merge. Pretty much what she was doing in previous seasons to identify her as a character herself. Pretty amazing, I think. She didn't really need to do much. It's because the more potential there is for other characters, the less it brings to new characters. Eren, Sora, Wildfire, and Lloyd needed to be in this sort of spotlight, as well as Ryu, they need to be up there. So I totally get why Nia didn't get much of a spotlight. But Part 2 does bring out a certain aspect, in my opinion, that is very amazing. First of all, Sora. Sora is not completely the same as Nia once was, but you can definitely see aspects in it. Sora doesn't know where her power belongs. She's a bit of a downer. Something that we can definitely take from Nia's old character traits is her power. She didn't really believe it in Season 5, and basically Nia knows what it feels like. Nia knows that it's hard to hear that you do have an element that it is in your true potential to unlock it. You just gotta train. Sora does take all this advice in by the end of Part 2 of Season 1 and does unlock her true potential. Considerably thanks to Nia, but also a mix of Lloyd. Something else I should mention here is, we'll speak more about this when I speak about Season 2 soon, but Season 2 definitely, is more of a Lloyd and Nia, brother and older sister and younger brother sort of thing, even though they're not related. It's just that duo we've seen for the whole Ninjago series itself that just interlocks. Now, just going further into Part 2 of Season 1, it's just amazing how Nia interacts when seeing Cole and having to let Cole go on his own mission because of the Master of Spirit. Totally makes sense. It's what Nia does. She's family bound. If there is something that needs to be done, you go do it and then you come straight back. It's pretty much what she tells Cole. He does. And I've just got to say, Nia is honestly amazing supporting these characters, telling them and giving them positive energy. She does this with Lloyd, and I feel like this is the best time to talk about Season 2, Part 1. Season 2, Part 1 pretty much just starts off simply. Your first 5 episodes is literally Nia grasping with Lloyd. And we'll just sort of break Part 1 into 5 episodes at the start and 5 episodes at the end, because it sort of drifts off into a Kai and Nia part the last 5 episodes. The first 5 episodes is really Lloyd struggling with his visions, right? So what best way to help this character is Nia. Nia is honestly the older sister to Lloyd, and Lloyd's the younger brother. We've seen this from the season 1 and 2 highlighted. Season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You know the drill, guys. Nia is always there for her little brother. And it's never going to really change. Hunted is definitely explored more here. As Lloyd even says, we've been through many battles. We've seen a lot. Yeah, the rest of the ninja have, but Lloyd and Nia have been very tight together in certain battles. Hunted, they wouldn't have survived without each other, because if it was maybe one of the other ninja, I could still see it surviving and working, but they need to be this split, because remember, the 4 ninja would have been working alongside Lloyd and Nia for a long period of time, but they're the 4 original elements. It'd be good to have them split into the first realm, and it makes it makes a lot of sense. Now, Lloyd and Nia's powers are definitely not normal powers, if it makes sense. Lloyd's isn't normal, while Nia's is just a second generation element, like the other elemental powers. It's sort of like mixed. It's just a whole weird concept with water and wind being a part of Wojira, that dragon, the underwater dragon. It's just a weird mix of an idea, different ideas. The powers of different ideas is what I'm trying to say. But it's very interesting to see that obviously explored. Now, for example, if we look at certain other aspects in Season 2, it just keeps getting more interesting, because when we get to the Kai episodes with Nia, they go flashback here and there, and it's honestly just beautiful. Now, let's talk about one thing that I haven't mentioned here, and I should mention this before I get into it. Something that also does happen is Kai does basically get knocked into the that little never space sort of trap. Now, how does Kai get out? Nia seems to be shocked, and something I do see at the end of Part 1 is Nia and Wildfire sort of gradually getting closer. It's something that's hinted in the start of this season, episode 3 or 4. That it's getting a close shift, but we've never seen them really fully interweave with each other. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, her fear and / vision, because a lot of people don't know if the fear and vision, I made a video also about that. What is this fear or vision? Simple. She is afraid that Jay's forgotten her for good. Now, Jay's never going to forget Nia, but this could be a sad possibility that we need to grasp onto for a bit. Part 2 is going to have Jay evil, and one thing is for sure we need to see, and if the writers are going to keep up with their amazing work, Nia and Jay are going to fight. Lord Ross is going to pin these 2 lovers against each other, and it's going to be a showdown for the battle. It is going to be something amazing. I definitely want to see Kai take Jay down. I definitely do. I feel like that would be something of amazement. Cole too. But what we're forgetting here is Ninjago Dragons Rising is going to give us something epic in Part 2. And it's kind of the reason why I think the tournament is something that's great for most of these characters, to explore them more. I definitely do think that there is potential here for Nia. And I do think they are writing Nia as well as the rest of the characters. In my certain opinion, I do believe Nia is getting a great character arc and build compared to previous seasons, especially Crystallized. I definitely think her character has grown compared to where she was prior to Seabound. This is the same with Cole, I guess. Yeah, pretty much same thing with Cole. After Master of the Mountain, I've got to say, I like his character a lot more. In previous seasons, he was likable and notable in those seasons, but he was more forgotten about. I believe now he's got more potential. Now, in my opinion, just like Zane, I said with Zane, something similar to what I said with Zane, is as much as we don't know or see it properly that these characters are growing, they are growing sort of behind the scenes and behind your eye. You need to just look at the personal aspects and little things that are happening to these characters as it is really happening to them. If you don't see them, you're just going to miss them. Let me know your thoughts about Nia and how she's really going in Ninjago Dragons Rising and what you like to see happen with her in Part 2. She's going to grasp with a lot of ideas, and I can't wait to see what she looks like in her tournament suit. Her first tournament suit ever. Who's excited? Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.